Everybody, it's Ken Madden here. I am at Locale in downtown Stillwater, Locale Makers Market, a wonderful place that has been curated by Tara Crotty here. And she is the owner, the curator that found us artists, all us crazy people to herd like cats and put in this store. And we're going to tell you a little bit about her, a little bit about what she sells here, and a little bit about why the store is somewhere you have to come and see. And this is the first of hopefully many little interviews of the artisans and artists that are here. So, Tara, first of all, where are you from?
I'm from Duluth, yay, Lake Superior, but I currently live in Somerset, Wisconsin.
Cool. Very nice. I lived in Somerset for a year. Like it there. So, what is in the creative process of your mind, growing up or whatever, brought you to the place where you're like, do you know what would be a good idea? I think I'll open a store full of other creative people.
That thought never actually occurred to me.
Awesome.
Yeah, so going through a really hard time in my life. I have a daughter who's had some pretty significant health challenges for about a decade now. Just kind of in the thick of grief. I had some pretty major losses, and this, ironically, is like my survival mechanism. If you keep yourself busy enough, it keeps you out of trouble.
Well, and staying busy can be a lot of things. And staying busy through creative exploits, I find, is more therapeutic than about everything.
Absolutely.
You know, and you know, a lot of the things you have here in the store, she really made a decision to have many different type of things. So it's always changing too. You know, you've got a good core group of artists here, but you know, as you know, for me, I'm always bringing in new stuff and trying this and trying that and see what happens.
Yep.
And a lot of the other people do here too. And a lot of it we'll see. We'll walk around the store here in a bit and kind of show you what some of the things that we've got for sale here. But so you are like the crystal. I don't know, the connoisseur, the crystal goddess. I don't know what you'd say, but crystals, geology, these things fascinate me, and I don't know much about it, but I've always enjoyed it. We used to go to Alaska, and I'd get soapstone up there because you could get it for, it was like just on the road, you know, and taking sculpting soapstone and doing that thing, and I always enjoyed that in jade. I liked working with that, but I always had, you know, I've got a black onyx chain that I got in Alaska 35, 40 years ago that hangs from my rearview mirror still to this day, and I just love it. I love black onyx. It is. Yep. So you got into this. Now you've developed an enormous amount of inventory here of all kinds of different things. It's really cool. There's always room for more, especially in your house. Yeah. But tell us a little bit about, you know, your journey into, you know, where do you find this stuff? Because I know you travel around, go to different events and things around the world even to find this.
I haven't been out of the country yet, but I do have suppliers on almost every continent. So I have worked since about 2020 to build relationships with suppliers. So I have somebody from Morocco who I work very closely with. I have a few in India. They have the best bumblebee jasper. And so it just depends on what I'm looking to get, who I'm shopping with. And then for the first time ever this year, I went down to the Tucson Rock and Gem Show, and that was a whole experience in and of itself. Cannot wait to go back.
You seemed pretty excited when you came back from that. I remember talking to you before you were going down. You were a little nervous and just like, I don't know what to expect. First time. You came back, you're like, oh, this was great.
I was completely overwhelmed, but in the best possible way. So it was all good.
Yeah.
Yep. And we got a lot of really cool stuff for the shop. Some things that are harder to come by that were like special requests, and they're no longer in the shop. They move fast.
They move fast, yeah. And that's the thing too. I've noticed, you know, I'm somewhat new here, probably 7 months. I think I came in, you know, as we're shooting this today, we're at the end of June of 2026, beautiful day. And I came in right at the end of November. She squeezed me in for Black Friday. She's like, if you can get your stuff here. And thank goodness I did. And it's been great. It's been a journey. You know, we're trying some new things. Some stuff is great. Some stuff is you know, you find your place. And that's the beauty of this. You have you give the artists the room to breathe and figure out, hey, I'd like to sell these. This is a great place to do it. And some of the stuff we've done is you know, in the last 2 months really starting to take off. So I'm excited. My wife makes stuff and she's excited too.
you don't see much of her. She likes to stay in the background.
Yeah, that's okay.
And,
I get that. I'm much more comfortable behind the camera than I am in front of it.
So I'm very appreciative of this store, what you got there. Tell us a little bit about this store. It has a little bit of an interesting story. We're right on Main Street. What's the exact address?
122 Main Street South, Stillwater, Minnesota.
122 Main Street South. So we're right on in the heart of it. I've been out here for 40 years or so in the Minnesota, Wisconsin area.
Yep.
Went to art school here, and I was like, man, one day, if I get something on the main street in Stillwater, I feel like I've really made it. So she's, I'm fangirling a little bit right now, sorry. But I'm just really appreciative of it. So this is a great store. And all of the other artists have the same story while working with you, because most of us that have done this for a while have dealt with store owners that are less than accommodating for some things. And
it depends,
yeah, and I'm not saying that's good or bad or indifferent, but you really have a good culture here of creativity. The artists aren't at each other's.
I've seen other shops, not locally here, but some of the ones in Massachusetts that I've tried to get into, that the artists are all at each other because they're like, whoa, wait, no, you don't want to see that. My stuff's over here. That kind of stuff doesn't happen.
Do that here.
Because?
So intentionality is behind everything we do. I think taking a maker and really letting them shine in their niche, super important. There is so much competition out in the world. We don't need that in here. And what that does then, I feel, is fosters a better sense of community. We're all on the same team. So when you come in the doors and you see somebody working behind the counter, that's one of our makers. We want them to represent this shop with pride. We want them to be proud of what they're seeing here. We don't want them to feel like, oh, what if they buy someone else's stuff? We all root for each other.
Right.
When you're like, hey, I have a new idea. I want to bring in some Stillwater cards. Yes, we don't have those. Please do. So if it's something we don't have, we try to give our makers room to grow. If a maker comes in and their sales aren't doing amazing, we do a short-term contract so then they get to move along. And there's never any hard feelings. You do what's best for you, and then we usually have somebody kind of waiting in the wings to move in. Most recently, it was really interesting. We had 2 makers leave, and I didn't recruit any new makers because everybody decided to grow. So they went
present.
Yep. So Ken decided he's going to occupy 2 spaces next to each other. Leah, who was next to him, I moved her into another spot. Holly, who was, she does the maps. She got a brand new display we'll show you when we walk around. Jeff, who has the really cool cutting boards and chopsticks and just completely unique woodworking items. He was like, I kind of want a bigger spot. And I was like, yes, because I don't pressure you guys. I just say, hey, there will be a spot coming available, and then you get to choose what's best for your business.
And I always say, to artists, you've got to be your own. You really have to. You have to blow your own horn. You have to be your biggest fan. And
your biggest advocate.
Don't
let a shop owner tell you what you need.
Exactly.
You get to call the shots.
Exactly. And at the same time, we look to Tara for some things of like, hey,
what are you seeing in here? I'm a person, I have a regular full-time job. I can't work in here as much as I have. Worked one day in
7 months. I got to do better. But the questions, because you're here quite a bit, the other artists are here quite a bit. They're talking with people. They're seeing what sells. You can see what happens. So if you're an artist looking to get in here, is there a waiting list? Or I happen to be able to come in right when you needed someone because someone had just left.
Do you know why that is? Because we didn't have anything like your stuff. You have
That's
a little
true.
bit, you really do have something for everybody, but you have a more masculine approach to cars.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen Ken's work, but visit his, do you have a website, Mad Cake Studios?
maddkstudio.com.
Okay. Ken reached, I put out like, hey, we have some spots available.
That's
I
right.
believe it was Stacy, your wife, who commented.
Yep.
And she was like, Ken.
She did.
And so Ken reached out and he said, hey, here's a few examples of my work. And I was like, yes, we don't have anything like that.
And it was interesting because I do
Portraits of cars and realistic drawings and paintings like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, are they even going to want that here in downtown? And it's been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And it's picking up as people are starting to see it. So we really appreciate that.
One of our makers is in here now. Maybe we'll
Yeah,
get
so,
to meet her.
yeah, we're still open. We're shooting this while we're open right here. We tried to pick a little lull moment during the dinner hour where
Yeah.
people kind of just take a minute. But, so, anyway, that's a little bit about you, the store, what you've done here. And so right now, I think we'll take kind of a little walk around. All right, here we are. This is the front of the store, that way. And we've got jewelry here. Tell us what we're looking at.
I wanted to feature a jewelry section because we have a couple different jewelry makers here that are prominently displayed. When you walk through our front door, this is one of the first things that you see. Jersey Girl Design, she's another maker that had brought some items in, really likes it here. We love you, Sarah. So she expanded. She has 2 separate display areas, and she makes a number of different kinds of earrings. If you can see, she has these beautiful acrylic earrings. She does some stuff with wood, like laser cut items. She also has gold. I mean, she does melt, a little bit of everything. But one of the favorites of hers are these little Minnesota necklaces. They're super cute. She also does have Wisconsin. And she just has a really nice variety. Elaine, who is our fused glass maker, she makes a majority of what she makes are glass mushrooms. But again, there's kind of a season for that. And so she said, I could put together a little bit of jewelry. And I'm like, yes, let's do it. Again, we don't have any glass jewelry. So she makes both dangly earrings and stud earrings that are super cute. She's wildly talented, and we love Elaine. Article Amazon. This is Mary, and she moved in actually when we moved to this new location. And again, she has expanded to 2 different areas, so we're happy about that. And she also, her earrings are super lightweight, really fashionable, and she just has a super wide variety. So we really like her for that. These are mine. These are gemstones. Most of mine are going to be either hypoallergenic or sterling silver. We do have some gold-filled items. And then down here, we do have a little journal section. Amy P has been with me since we opened in Somerset, Wisconsin. Amy is my OG. She makes our cards, but she also puts together these journals. So she's very talented too. I can't imagine the patience it takes to do that. We also have Nicole here. Nicole is Green and EC's Designs. Nicole does our good work. You pick a favorite here, but these are some earrings she has with some porcupine quills on them. Gorgeous, stylish, lightweight, the good stuff. And we really wanted to make sure that we are representing all kinds of styles and cultures. So Nicole has that, and then we have Olivia Rain. She does primarily gold jewelry. She is in a couple other shops where she has a charm bar, but these are just very, very stylish and sleek. She also has like little lockets. We have healing hearts from one of our other fellow maple Reifus. I don't want to say masters, but somebody who I went through training with. She performs Reiki as well. And then we have Aspen Howell, and we will show you some more of Jessica's work. Jessica works with lasers, but she just has these are, I cannot stress to you how lightweight these are. They're beautiful, they're functional, and they're very affordable. So that's it for our jewelry.
And this really does, this is just the start. We're talking about 8 feet of store here that goes back, 60 feet. There is so much here to look at, and there is something for everyone. Mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, kids, everything you can think of. So thank you very much for doing this with me today. Thanks for watching this, and come down to Locale. And what's the website if they want to go online? To go on.
www.locale, Locale, makers, makers.com.
And you can also go to the Facebook page, which is a great place to find out, because she does events. She's got a whole event, Pigs and Back. There's people, the artists sometimes do special things.
Her and I are trying to collaborate on what we can figure out to do with the artwork and drawing, painting that I do.
And actually, this Saturday we have a stained glass class with Claire Beardsley coming up. So
I believe you've done those before. You've been hugely
Yep.
popular. So again, it's Locale, right downtown Stillwater. This is Tara again. Thank you for having your store here. We really appreciate it. We'll catch you next time.
thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. See ya.